right. Well, I'd like to welcome those in attendance and watching. This is week 16 of the 61 Main Street, and it's our weekly update. Things are moving. I think everyone can see that right now. So we made the switch on Wednesday. It took pretty much all day to do, and so as we always do on those big traffic switches, just really appreciate the patience and the cooperation as we made that as a big venture to get that all in place. And we've been in it almost a week now, and I think it's actually working really well. We made some modifications with the plan to keep the dual lefts at Broad. It's a little bit of a skew there. We're certainly aware of that, but we've been monitoring it, and I think the benefits of keeping those dual lefts in their right lanes is warranted that shifting through that intersection. It's a big intersection, so it helps, but I think the semis are moving through, so we predicted it about as good as we could, and it seems to be working pretty well. And we're gonna hold in this configuration now for it's looking like 4 weeks probably, 3 to 4 weeks here, where Plum is open, and Bush is closed on the north, and traffic's on the south, obviously. So. No major changes here within the immediate upcoming weeks. And I guess with that, the work started immediately last week as far as the north side, and as I mentioned, they're cruising. So with that, I'll turn it over to you, Ryan, and give us our update schedule-wise.
Thanks, Corey. Yeah, like Corey said, it should stay the way it is, and actually, I've got it longer than that, Corey, right now. I've got to predict to stay the way it is all the way until probably a week into August even.
Okay.
So we're just tearing up the utilities now. We got the first thing we did was the water, the storm, Bush to Plum Street. That's not right. We got Bush to Broad Street, storm sewer done. Got the water line that goes across there and the sanitary service. Between Bush and Plum. We're going to get the water line now between Bush and Plum. That's a hydrant that goes on the north side of the road. We're going to actually skip the water in the Plum Street intersection and go down to Potter, where we got a whole lot of utilities in the Potter Street intersection. And then right behind those guys, what you see right now between Bush and Broad is the restoration crew. They're putting back the subgrade to where we can get the paving going again on it. The plan is, as we've been describing, the plan is to bring in the concrete guys to start up right behind those restoration crew. So they would start with the straight curb again between Bush and Broad. And I'd like to get a piece of that in before the holiday, but it's kind of unlikely. We'll just see how far we get. And then we'll, of course, build between the curb and the building faces as we go. The way it's looking, we might be able to get 2 blocks of that or even 3 blocks of that done before we do the main drive lanes. And like Corey said, we'll leave this traffic the way it is. We'll be doing a lot of work on that side of the road, on the north side of the road, all the paving, all the sidewalk, all the curb and gutter. Even the center lane will be paved and before we would do anything probably. Last thing we would do in probably about 6 weeks from now would be to go into that Plum Street intersection, finish off that water line, and then get that ready for paving. I guess with that, we're looking at probably, I think, 7 more weeks of construction time on this job, and then we should be done.
So Ryan, it's fair to say that by the time you close Plum again, you're going to see most of the north side put back together, sidewalk, curb and gutter, drive pavement, kind of leaving that Plum Street intersection closure till the very end to do that water main and then concrete in that intersection, correct?
That's correct. Yeah, that's the plan right now.
Okay.
Awesome. Thank you, Ryan. And so utilities, I think the next next focus will be at Potter. That's where they're heading here within likely tomorrow to Thursday. And Potter has got a lot of work in it, so we're likely going to be potential up to a week in there with utilities. So that's where the utility crew is. The removals are just about to Potter. They're going to be there. in enough time for the utility crew to come in right behind them. We appreciate the businesses working with us, allowing us to get that sidewalk out first on this side, and we also removed right through Plum Street under traffic, and both those are strictly for the benefit of the schedule and keeping things progressing, and quite honestly needed with the change of the sequencing a little bit here on the north side, that we're going to be doing the sidewalk work likely first before the paving. And that's just to keep things moving forward. The sidewalk is going to be ready before the road and the utilities are in, and that'll allow the concrete to start versus waiting until a couple more weeks where everything would be available. So just going to try to keep everything moving linearly in a sense. And so that's already started there. That Bush block between Bush and Broad is getting prepped, as Ryan said, and could be looking at sidewalk maybe next week. So
Yeah, a little different than the south side schedule where things were kind of put back in place and the road was built first and everything followed. This side construction is going to be, there's going to be utility work going on at the same time that sidewalks getting poured, that there's going to be curb and gutter crews, and so it's really trying to get crews in right behind road building and getting gravel down and getting concrete crews in. So all with trying to keep on that 7-week schedule so we hit our completion dates. So,
yep.
So that is a change. Seeing things kind of progress a little bit differently on this side of the job.
So really, I think with that, that was the big stuff, at least on Main Street, that we wanted to hit. Are there any questions or concerns or comments at all regarding Main Street? Otherwise, I think we've been using this opportunity as well to give an update on levy, and so I think we'll probably continue with that, and I think Ryan's prepared to do that as well. So we'll give a quick levy schedule update as well.
Sure, you bet. Levy Road, last week we've actually completed the paving of the main drive lanes all the way through, save the asphalt at the end, which is planned on. We plan on putting the asphalt at off of Levy Road and Bay Point Drive and Jackson at the end of this week. We're doing curb and gutter in the parking lot there in front of Red Wing Yacht Club Harbor. They're doing that today, and the rest of this week we'll be able to get all that, hopefully that curb and gutter in. They also got put the curb and gutter down next to Levy Road all the way from the roundabout all the way down to the Red Wing Grain where the trucks come off of the scales. And that curb and gutter's got to be fully cured out before we can put traffic on that section of the road. So that might be, it's been curing out in about a week, is what we've been seeing lately. So once that's cured out, then we can put traffic back on Levy Road going across there. And then in week 3 or maybe week 4 of the schedule, we're looking at doing the taking out Broad Street, closing Broad Street intersection, of course, Broad and Levy, and redoing that surface, and then that parking lot that goes down there, the Levy parking lot that's right next to that intersection.
About 3 weeks out, Ryan?
Yeah, 3 to 4 weeks out on that.
But when that happens, that's we'll have Levy Road open through the roundabout. So that's
right.
And of course that's to get grain trucks will be coming from a different direction then while we try to finish off our work on the west side of the job on the east side of the job by Broad Street. So
yeah, right now we're just paving out the sidewalks. They're paving out the landings. They're paving out all the sidewalk ramps, and a bunch of little tedious pieces of concrete here and there. And then we've also got our subcontractor working behind Red Wing Grain, putting up the fencing on the trail back there, so that'll be a real nice trail when it's all done, with removable panels. And of course, I guess in probably week 6 or so, we're going to have our subcon put the fence up along Red Wing Yacht Club, the harbor there. I don't know what you call it.
the decorative railing.
Yeah.
Along there. Yep. Along the boathouses there.
Right. They've taken the measurements and they're fabbing it, and they'll be coming and putting it all up in I think week 6. That project is currently slated to still be completed ahead of schedule. It's staying on the schedule that was presented about a week ago. So middle of August is what we're forecasting for that one to be done as well.
Turf establishment crews have been out there black dirting and seeding and mulching areas behind Red Wing Grain along the trail. So there's good progress going on Levy Road right now as well.
And they also seeded the center of the roundabout.
Roundabout, yep, got that seeded down. So. Good. Any questions on either project, traffic-wise or access? We have, might as well, we did address some of the concerns with pedestrian access. We added some signage, kind of helping people figure out how to get to the St. James and around, navigating around with the closures that we had. So we've added pedestrian signage and a little bit of vehicle signage as well for the project. So we're responding to business requests and looking at where we're having some issues with the traffic control. Like we said, traffic control is you set it up and you figure out where you need some things, and we did a few changes last week as well. We changed at Bush Street. We put tubes through the intersection there, so Bush is basically right in, right out, correct, Corey?
It is, yep.
And I think that kind of cleaned up those movements in that intersection. We're looking at a few other pedestrian things with the lights at Bush Street. So MnDOT's coming down to look at that. We did have some concerns about traffic at the main intersection at Plum and at Broad, blocking the intersection, trying to make it through. I want to just encourage, get it out there that, you need, you may have to wait another phase there and don't get through the intersection and block off everyone else who's the cross traffic. So that's just common courtesy, whether there was construction or not. Not get out in the middle of the intersection on a red and just sit there. So I think that's gotten a little bit better.
I think so, yeah.
Anything else with the traffic control that you want to highlight or?
No, I don't think so. No.
Okay. All right. Oh, we got a question, Marcy?
Yes. Microphone's way up there, so.
Okay.
Yeah, it's fine.
We'll repeat it.
We met last week with the main event group, and we talked about an August 19th celebration for Levy Road. Does that make sense as a date?
Yeah, probably does.
Yeah.
It should.
It's not locked in stone, but it's what we're talking about.
Yeah, there was a kind of talk about a little bit a smaller scale celebration, but kind of to highlight that trail down there, I think was a big thing we talked about. And I think that would make sense. Kind of a ribbon cutting for that, and get out there and see that trail behind Red Wing Grain, because it's really I think it's quite impressive. So. Anything else? All right. Thank you for coming.
I appreciate it.
Appreciate it.